She walked into that gym every morning with discipline, respect, and pride. But one man saw her strength as a threat, not an inspiration. He mocked her body, questioned her worth, and one day crossed a line that would change everything. What started as quiet humiliation inside four gym walls became a fight that echoed far beyond them. Because when Maya finally spoke up, her strength didn't just lift weights, it lifted the truth. Maya Johnson was no ordinary woman. Every morning, before the sun rose over Atlanta, she was already at the gym, lifting, sweating, focused. Her body was a temple built through years of dedication, her strength not just physical, but spiritual. She wasn't chasing fame or approval. She trained because it gave her peace. To her, the gym wasn't just metal and mirrors, it was her sanctuary. For years, she'd worked there as a trainer, helping clients find confidence in their own reflection. Members admired her determination. Women looked up to her. Even the toughest guys respected her grind. But not everyone saw it that way. Her manager, Derek Lawson, a white man in his early 40s, didn't like what he couldn't control. To him, Maya's confidence was defiance. Her strength made him insecure. It wasn't about rules, it was about ego. Small comments turned into sharp remarks. "You're too intimidating. You should smile more. People don't come here to be shown up." At first, Maya brushed it off. She'd dealt with worse before. But soon, the tone changed. He started hovering during her sessions, nitpicking her schedule, questioning her clients, finding faults where there were none. Maya felt it. The shift in energy, the tension in every glance. Something was coming, something ugly. But she stayed silent, believing professionalism would protect her. She had no idea that silence would soon become her biggest regret. Because when Derek's disrespect crossed from words to actions, Maya would have to decide. Stay quiet, like they expected, or let her strength finally speak. The tension in the gym grew thicker by the day. At first, it was small things. Her locker being mysteriously left open, her protein shakes missing, her training schedule switched without notice. Maya tried to ignore it. She thought professionalism and silence would protect her. But in a world where bias hides behind smiles, silence is often mistaken for weakness. Derek's remarks became bolder. He'd watch her during her sessions, arms folded, smirking in the mirror. "You're scaring the new members, Maya," he'd say, loud enough for everyone to hear. Or worse, "Try being a little more feminine. This isn't a bodybuilding competition." The words stung, not because she hadn't heard worse before, but because they came from someone who was supposed to respect her professionalism. Each insult chipped away at her peace. Her clients noticed the shift, too. One afternoon, as Maya helped a young woman with form, Derek interrupted mid-session, accusing her of using unauthorized equipment. Everyone stared. The client's face flushed with embarrassment. Maya clenched her fists but said nothing. She swallowed her pride, finished the session, and walked away. But disrespect never stops where it starts. It escalates. One Friday evening, the gym was nearly empty. The hum of treadmills echoed across the floor as fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Derek approached her near the weight racks, his tone too casual. "You know, for someone so strong, you sure take orders well." Maya turned, trying to walk away. He laughed and reached out, brushing his hand against her arm, then gripping her bicep like it was some kind of joke. "Wow," he said, smirking. "Hard as a rock. Bet you scare the hell out of men, huh?" The touch made her skin crawl. She pulled back instantly, eyes cold, heartbeat pounding. "Don't ever touch me again," she said quietly. But instead of backing off, he grinned. "Relax, Maya. Don't make this about race or gender. You people love playing the victim." Those words cut deeper than anything before. You people! That night, Maya sat in her car long after closing time, staring at the empty parking lot. Her reflection in the rearview mirror didn't look like the woman she knew. The confident trainer, the motivator, the professional. She looked tired, small, cornered. And for the first time, she realized this wasn't just workplace tension. It was harassment built on prejudice. She thought about reporting him, but she'd seen how those stories ended. Whispers, retaliation, ruined reputations. Women like her didn't get second chances. They got silence. Still, something inside her began to shift. Her grandfather's words echoed in her mind. Respect isn't given to the loudest man. It's earned by the one who stands his ground. The next morning, she walked into the gym like nothing happened. But inside, she was done being quiet. She started documenting everything: times, comments, witnesses. Every insult became a note. Every inappropriate remark became a timestamp. And when Derek crossed the line again, she'd be ready. Because strength isn't always measured by the weight you lift. It's by how much truth you can carry without breaking. Monday morning came like a storm. The gym was packed, the air thick with the smell of sweat and ego. Maya was mid-session with a client when Derek marched across the floor, his voice cutting through the music. "Everyone! Quick announcement," he said, loud enough for the entire gym to hear. Effective today, all trainers must clear schedules through management, especially those who think they run this place. Eyes turned. Maya froze. It was public humiliation, plain and deliberate. She calmly finished her client's set, then walked over to him. "If you've got a problem," she said, "say it to me, not through them." Derek smirked, leaning in close. "You don't make the rules here, sweetheart. Maybe if you stopped acting like a man, people would actually like you." The words sliced through the silence. A few members gasped. Others looked away. But Maya stood her ground. "You done?" she asked quietly. He laughed. "Done? No, I'm just getting started." And before she could step back, he reached again, grabbing her arm, squeezing her bicep, mocking. "See? That right there is the problem. Women shouldn't look like—" She yanked her arm free, voice trembling but clear. "Don't touch me." "Or what?" he sneered. "You'll cry racism again?" Something inside her snapped, not out of rage, but clarity. She reached into her gym bag, pulled out her phone, and pressed play. From the speakers came his own voice. The slurs, the insults, the threats, all recorded over weeks of quiet preparation. The gym fell silent. Every word echoed off the mirrors, his face drained of color. "You think I wouldn't fight back?" she said softly. Derek stammered. But the damage was done. Every member heard the truth, every whisper, every demeaning remark. And in that moment, Maya's silence became her loudest weapon. The man who mocked her strength was finally crushed by it. The next morning, the video had spread across the city like wildfire. Members shared it, news outlets picked it up, and suddenly the story of the trainer who stood her ground was everywhere. By noon, Derek was suspended. By evening, he was gone. But for Maya, this wasn't about revenge. It was about respect. For years, she'd watched people like him hide behind power and privilege, using control as a weapon. But this time, silence hadn't won. The gym issued a public apology, promising an investigation and new diversity training. Yet Maya knew it was bigger than that. The whispers from women at other gyms, the messages from black trainers across the country, it was all the same story told in different places. Her courage had given them permission to speak. Maya didn't return to that gym. Instead, she opened her own small training studio, a space built on empowerment, not intimidation. On the wall, she hung a simple quote in bold black letters. "Strength isn't loud, it's consistent." She carried the scars of that experience, but she also carried something far more powerful. Proof that change starts when truth refuses to stay silent. Because in a world where black women's strength is too often misread as aggression, Maya reminded everyone that power and dignity can share the same body. Her story became more than a moment. It became a movement. And as her studio filled with women who once felt unseen, Maya realized that sometimes It's not the world that needs to hear your voice. It's the people who tried to silence it. So the next time someone doubts your strength, remember Maya. Because when strength speaks, the world has no choice but to listen. Don't miss more powerful real-life stories. Hit subscribe now.